So let's talk about these tarot cards, because I'm reading up on you. I'm like, who is Courtney? Let me find out. Right? So I'm going on YouTube. I'm looking at videos. I stumbled across a video of you and Steve D'Angelo. And, Steve D'Angelo is a pioneer in this industry. Indeed. I've been to his book signing. Really great friend. So I'm just like, okay, so what's going on? And I see him on a tarot card. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? How is Steve on a tarot card? I need to be a part of this. So please tell me about this project.
Okay, so, I feel pretty passionate about cannabis legalization, safe access, cannabis medicine. And I feel also that we need to honor the pioneers who got us here. I'm just a little bit afraid that, legalization spreading across the whole world. This is a global phenomenon happening. And I want to make sure that people remember how we got here. I want all the children to know how we got here, that people sacrificed everything. That it ruined families for generations. People have been in prison, incarcerated.
Lives were lost.
I mean, there's so much that has happened, and so many people have come together to overcome huge, immense obstacles to make sure that we can go and stand in a line for hours in Illinois to get cannabis.
To purchase $77 grams of shatter.
So let us all remember why we're here, why we're doing this, and how we got here. And so I developed what is the Oracle of the Green Rose. And it is an Oracle card deck. So a tarot, we do pay homage to the tarot with 22 major arcana. 21 of those will be honoring pioneers. As of right now, we've got 5 cards, a couple of pioneers. Jack Hare, we most recently did the illustration for the card, and we're waiting for the estate to approve that. I don't know if you guys are listening, please approve.
Why does the state have to approve it? What is that about?
It's just, to use someone's likeness.
Oh,
this is something you need to get. This is actually the first card where we needed the estate. So there'll be Dennis Perrone is someone else who I wanted to approach before he passed away.
Of course.
But now he's passed away, so we'll need to go to the estate, for example.
Okay.
But the next one will be Chia Rodriguez. She's a second-generation cultivator. She has a great story. She's a community builder, lovely lady. She has 2 cannabis brands, Arcana and another one. She's doing great things. So we're just taking a look, and we're telling the stories of triumph. And then we're also educating around cannabis strains. We have 12 heirloom landrace strains. For those of you who don't know what that means, they're the ancestors to the modern day strains that we have.
That's right.
And we selected 12 from around the world, and we're educating about those. Durban Poison was the first heirloom landrace strain card that we introduced.
Out of Africa.
And we have some merchandise to support the cause. The funding is helping us to print the cards, design the cards, all the art, all these things, right?
Of course.
So we're coming out with, we have Blue Dream yoga gear, and we're coming out with a Durban Poison yoga outfit. So that's coming soon. Stay tuned for that. And then we have a couple modern day strains thrown in there too. For Yvonne De La Rosa is our Native American medicine woman. She's the High Priestess card, which is a major arcana and tarot.
Of course.
And she brought the first safe to bring your mom cannabis dispensary. Her mother had cancer, and she wanted a place that she could bring her mother and feel safe. And I can speak to that. I've been to a lot of dispensaries, and it's not been pretty.
It is not.
It has not been pretty. So thank goodness.
I got a story about that later. Okay.
Me too. Thank goodness for all the beautiful, safe retailers that we have available today. So she was a pioneer in that aspect. She made some nationwide headlines with that. But then she also co-authored Measure G to lift the ban on adult use access in Malibu, which is
I know Yvonne. Okay, you talking about Yvonne with Malibu's can? Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
99 High Tide.
Yes, I was like, I want to make
Queen
sure.
of Mermaids.
Yes. Okay. Shout out to Yvonne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is all in progress. There'll be 44 cards total. We have a design for the packaging. The premise is that it's an elegant box that you can put on your coffee table when friends come over. You spark up a conversation by pulling out the deck, shuffling, pulling a card, and receiving a fun, inspiring message. You'll learn
But is
about
this like really
strains.
tarot though? Like, is this really like a reading, or is this just education?
So I'm sneakily educating.
Okay. I love it.
I'm educating without you knowing about it.
I love it.
So
Okay.
it's there's layers. It's layers like a beautiful cannabis flower.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into the symbolism, if you want to know about the history of tarot, if you want to understand, about Native American medicine women or High Priestess, or if you want to know about those things, that's something you can dive into the symbolism. We pull in a few educational things like for the High Priestess, we have have the feminine cannabis plant. But for the magician, which is the male archetype, we have the male cannabis plant. And not everybody understands that there's a masculine and feminine cannabis plant, by the way.
Of course.
Just so you all know, while we do cultivate the feminine, there is a masculine cannabis plant.
There is.
So there's some more information embedded, but with the strain cards, you learn about what we call the flavors, which are the terpenes. Then you also learn about the energetic of the strain. And the message carries that energetic, reflects that energetic. So you get the message, you get the inspiration, you get a spiritual component, but it can also just be like, if you're not spiritual, if you just care about cannabis and you just want to go and have fun and get a nice message, it can be really simple. It's just like, go, pull a card, it's fun, and it's not something so deep. But if you want to go a little deeper with it, let's talk.
I love it. So what made you come up with that? Like, how did that process come about, and where are you at in the process now?
I studied tarot with a few masters.
Nice.
And for me, I'm very much interested in the ancient mysteries. I think that there is a lot of wisdom contained in Egyptian culture, for example, where unfortunately has not been carried down through the generations. With Native Americans, with indigenous cultures, they share the words and the story. The story is shared. It's not written historically.
Of course.
If you're a part of that culture, you might be receiving some of those messages. For other people who are not intuitive and who have been a part of this 3D reality that we call life here in Atlanta or elsewhere, we may not have received those messages. And I've been exploring that for some time. I find it fascinating, and I think there's a benefit for us in terms of our personal development, in terms of just making a positive impact in the world and sharing those messages and identifying what they are. And that was my inspiration. Like, how can I just make this fun?
Right. How
can I bring a light to someone's life? And how can we share this message and honor these pioneers in a beautiful, brilliant way? Amber June Cross is the artist that I'm working with. It took me about a year to find her. And she is so incredibly talented. If you haven't seen the cards, you can visit us at Oracle Rose Vert. Vert is French for green. Oracle Rose Vert, VERTE.com, and take a look at the cards. Just admire their beauty for a bit, because I'm really pleased with the progress. And like I said, we're 5 cards in, so we're making our way. And there's a lot of big supporters that have been coming through, buying the merchandise, paying for the cards. So we're just making our way through it. But each card, I'm paying for the art. We also have to put a lot of intention into it. We're identifying what the symbolism is. We're getting to know the pioneers, what their stories are, and how we can best portray those stories. And there will be a book. So you'll have the box, you'll pull off the lid. Inside will be the cards and the book. The book will hold the stories of triumph, the messages from the cards, and then the cards themselves will be the image with the rod of Asclepius illustration on the back, which is the rod of Asclepius is the symbol of healing.
Everyone needs these cards, it feels like. Oh my goodness. So I'm so excited, because this has been a great conversation.